when we went over the defense side, pretty much we honed in on that. That was fun. I want to spin back and I want us to hear the prosecution side. Now, some of y'all in the chat know a little bit more about Florida DA and Florida prosecution, and some of y'all was in yesterday's chat saying that the mother don't play. Um, this guy was cooking. This whole segment that I ended up listening to yesterday, just as I was moving around, is about 90 minutes long. Of course, we're not going to play the whole 90 minutes right now. And everything that we've skipped that we're going to play right now, he is going off. And it's just like, yo, they are done. Especially when the actual shooters and the rest of the suspects come behind this trial, they're done. But I just fast forwarded to the point of the stalking because we're kind of focusing on Alicia right now and seeing all the different evidence that ties her to shit. Look at some of this evidence that on the opening argument from the prosecution, some of the details and the evidence that they're laying out.
Without that intelligence, without providing that real-time information to the assault team that's in the Impala, there would be no surprise, there would be no ambush of Mr. Jones, and this conspiracy would fail. It was that intelligence, that real-time surveillance and communication, the locations and routes that were provided by this defendant and her boyfriend, Isaiah Chance, operating alone in that Chevy Cruze, while the other three conspirators, the assault team, were in the Impala. And they were doing everything they could to keep that Impala out of the sight of Mr. Jones and his friends, because Mr. Gaithright drove that Impala. It was registered to his mother, but he drove it all the time. He was notoriously known for driving that car.
Notoriously known. What?
This was a coordinated team effort. In order to remain secretive and to not alert the target that they were conducting surveillance, they utilized several different techniques. Number one, they parked away from the club, and they utilized disguises that you heard some about yesterday in jury selection about COVID masks. You're going to see in this video, June of 2024, they're both wearing COVID masks. Now, interestingly, because it was suggested yesterday that there's many reasons people could wear COVID masks, it's the only time in this evidence you will ever see a mask on this defendant's face. You won't see it on her face when she returns back to Jacksonville through an Uber. You won't see it on her face any other time when she's entering into the Airbnb around her four co-conspirators. But they kept their...
That's what I say once again about when these lawyers be trying to take the jury or the judge for a fool. It disturbs me. Now I get it. Sometimes you got no other fucking angles to try, but it be so bullshit. If you're going to pitch to me as a defense lawyer, oh, as far as mass, it's not because she's out here hunting and on some criminality shit. It's because of COVID, right? And then they got her on camera in 20 other different locations. They got her in McDonald's. They got you over here. They got you back at the Airbnb. They got you back home. And no other place you're wearing this mask other than when you're stalking, walking around, giving up drops or performing drops in the parking lot where Julio Foolio was currently partying. That's the only time you're wearing your COVID mask. Don't take me for a fucking fool.
Distance, and you'll see that in this video, from the victim and his entourage. They attempted to blend into the background. They needed to get close enough to be able to conduct surveillance, to gather the information they needed, but not so close that they would be detected. They had to avoid that. So first they used an unrecognizable car, and then they used disguises. But what you're going to find, and remember the law and principle, she doesn't even need to be there to be part of this conspiracy or to be a principal. She's there. She drives there with Mr. Chance, and they park in the north end of the parking lot of Teasers. And she doesn't stay in the car. She gets out and she walks with him. You're going to see that. You can kind of see their images in the upper right-hand corner. This is a video. I'm going to play it in a minute. You're going to see him hand her phone to her and her put her code into the phone to open it, so they could utilize it to convey what they were watching and seeing. And again, they're out in the parking lot. She was there with them in the field, shoulder to shoulder, in the thick of it, on the ground, in the action. So So they're wearing these masks, and it's not just like some costume mask. Obviously, a COVID mask is not going to necessarily draw that much attention, but it is going to hide their identities. Mr. Chance has a hoodie up on his head along with the COVID mask. They are clearly trying to disguise themselves. But again, she didn't stay in the car, she got out. And there was a reason for that. Because instead of allowing Mr. Chance to walk around in this dark parking lot with a hood on and a mask on by himself,
Objection, Your Honor. Argument.
walking.
Overruled. Go ahead. Give us his opening statement, members of the jury. Just a chance for
Overruled.
the court to tell you
Oh,
what
shit.
They believe will be admitted in this case.
Oh.
It is not the actual evidence.
Defense wasn't like how he was
But
building
instead of
up.
allowing him to walk around in that parking lot by himself, a single man with a disguise on, she went with him because now they would be a couple. They would fit in. They would be non-threatening. So she acted not only helping in conducting the
Objection, Your Honor.
reconnaissance,
Argument.
Overruled. Go ahead.
she acted as camouflage.
He's cooking.
She acted as
He's cooking.
a disguise in and of herself. Now they're a couple. Now it's not just a single person who may be seen as threatening or may draw attention. This is just a
Yo, I would have even think to paint her like this, but you're trying to bring her down and give her life, right? The image that he's putting out in that courtroom right now of her being next, I didn't pull no triggers. I'm just this harmless ass girl. Before we get to things like the text messages and shit of you wanting Foolio dead, but yo, you being in the field on the ground in these multiple parking lots to just provide coverage for the actual shooters. Disguise in the form of hiding in plain sight. Let's look like a couple. Let's blend in. Let's say true or false. He is putting a disgusting image in everybody's head up there, B. Oh,
couple walking around in the parking lot and a club where a lot of people were milling about in groups. In
in
groups.
groups.
She
If you go to the club tonight, it's Friday, right? Let's say you're in the let out and you're outside and you look around and you just see like one guy with a hood and the COVID mask off in the cut walking around. Like, I'm not saying that you would be like, oh, he's here to kill somebody, but you would take note. You would just be like, all right. You would pay attention a little bit. Why? Because in those environments, people tend to be more grouped up than anything for sure. He is painting a great fucking image, B. Damn.
provided that by being there in the field with them. She provided that cover and that camouflage. And she
That
provided,
cover.
obviously, a second set of eyes
Mm.
to watch. Both of them surveilling and watching Mr. Jones and his entourage. And then, as I just mentioned a minute ago, she provided the comms, the communication, her phone. Now, you're going to see in the evidence, Mr. Chance's phone is tracking all the way to Tampa from Jacksonville. And it's tracking at that Airbnb. It's hitting off a nearby tower, but it's her phone they're utilizing, you will find in the evidence. Now, you're going to find in this evidence that they were not utilizing the calling function of that iPhone or even its Apple text message app, the two ways that most people communicate. They're using some kind of a special application to be able to communicate that's undetected. But at some point, they have to break radio silence because the person they're communicating with, Sean Gathright, is not answering. He's not picking up his phone, so they actually send a text through the Apple text message app. Pick up your phone.
Mm.
And that's right around this time, just a few minutes later. You see the defendant opening the phone for Mr. Chance, and you can see their COVID masks. One is wearing the blue COVID mask that was so prevalent in 2020, 2021, and she's wearing a black one.
Mm. They got that footage.
This is Mr. Jones and his friends arriving at that club.
Mm.
And you can see the time there, 2:22 in the morning. That, again, is several minutes off, but it's about that time. 2:21, and there they are, and you see Mr. Chance on the phone in the parking lot
Mm.
at the same place. Now later, after Mr. Jones has gone into the club and been in there and done his thing in there with his friends, he's now
Yo, Foolio's moving around way too much. So we already saw it back when it happened, the video of him going live. We out here, going in and out of these clubs and whatnot. And even when he advertised, DM me if you want the Addy to pull up for his birthday party and all that. It's just like, was it, is it fucking nigga? Like what was it? Nobody gonna touch me. What was it? What makes you get that? Is it the liquor? Is it this is my night of slipping? Is it like I don't care? Is it like it is what like what is it? Because of course, unbeknownst to him, it don't matter how many people you're with. He's with 5, 10, 15, 20 people. It don't matter. He has no clue. He's being stalked location to location. Same people. He pulls up in a parking lot, they pull up in a parking lot. He leaves, he pulls up to another party, they leave and pull up in that same next party and get out and walk and stalk you again. You then get to the hotel, they pull into the hotel too, like 3 different locations. And he has no clue. But the given, even moving around, if I lived a Julio Foolio life, like you can't go to the barbershop, you don't go to the movie theater, you don't go to Six Flags, like you don't go to parties. The shitty thing is if you're a Julio Foolio lifestyle and you're a rapper, how do you do your shows? How do you post your shows? How do you post where you're gonna be when you got these type of ops like people's died already on both sides? All that ATK and all that shit is real. That shit is a real urban war down there. And how are you outside like this? How are you outside like this, B? I watched the stream with O5 Melly one time. Y'all know who O5 Melly is? He was into it with the other side. His ops was like King Von and Dirk and them and all that. Even if you listen to interviews from like let's say THF Bezu, they put respect on O5 Melly's name because they know that he was really out there. He's tearing shit. He's shooting shit for real. And I saw a live one time where he was just doing a store walk with him and some of his boys. And if you just listen to how they move, and it's like, damn, that lifestyle is fucked up to the point where they feel like whether it's the police or the ops, this 5-minute live of me going to the store could be deadly or could cost me my freedom. And they know it. They joking about it a little bit as they doing it, but they know it. Just going to the store publicly. So let alone pulling a Foolio, moving from spot to spot like this, and everybody could see you and track you and know you, and you live and you. What was he thinking? Boy.
Leaving, you can see Mr. Edwards' head up there. It's 2:46 or about that time. 2:46, 59, almost 2:47. And what happens at 2:47? This car up here in the upper right, that's on that road, which is Nebraska, is pulling in to the north end of the parking lot of Teasers. This was an extremely well-orchestrated conspiracy, coordinated. He's walking out of the club on the other side of the club, and out of the blue, the assault team vehicle is pulling into the club. That is tight surveillance and intel. Now, in this photograph, that's 2:48. This is Mr. Jones' Charger. You can see the lights starting to light up because they're already inside the car. They're getting ready to leave. That's the Impala that has come in on the north side, gone down the west side, and is now passing in the front. Out of necessity, passing in the front. So this is just an aerial view of Teasers. You can see Nebraska over here to the right. You can see this little road here, South Castle. The defendant and her boyfriend come and they park here in the north end. They get out, they walk around, they come around this way, they stand here. The entrance is over here. So they're way down here. You kind of saw that in that photograph, which would put them down there to the west. They conduct surveillance. They walk back up here. They get back into the car, and then they drive out onto East Castle. The assault team comes in the red arrows, comes in on the north end. We just watched it. They come down this way, and they go down Castle. And as you can
So it seems like they was gonna try to get him there too. Maybe they feel like the opportunity wasn't there. Maybe they didn't see him by the time they pulled up. Oh man, like he escaped the Grim Reaper once or twice, possibly during the day, knowing it or not.
See, before I move on, a lot of folks standing around out there, a lot of people, potential witnesses. Now, from there, when Mr. Jones leaves with his friends in the 3 cars, they travel to another club, an after party. This is Truth 18 on Bush. The Dodge Charger, the Hyundai, and you'll see the Altima come up.
That's close as shit. If the Ultima comes up. Oh no. The black shit in an Ultima, right? That they're in. That the shooters are in.
Down here to the lower left, you can see some of the party, Miss Bentley, Miss Albritton, Tafa McRae in the light blue. And up on the top there where you just saw the flashing lights, it's Armani Turner and Miss Randolph getting out of the Hyundai.
They know who everybody is. Damn.
There's Mr. Jones in the lower right with the red hat, very recognizable. So they go up to the 2nd floor of this strip mall where this club is.
This is where he went live as well.
There's Gino Norris in front walking up, his friend.
At least from these particular shooters' standpoint, one thing I think that we see is him going live didn't necessarily matter. Everybody's looking at him like, yo, you crazy, you tripping, maybe that's, but the shooters and the trackers were already on him to this second location as well. He just happens to go live. It really didn't even matter. They already had him location-wise. He's with all these people. With all these people, it don't matter.
Party.
Look at this shit. It's right there, go right there. I think this is when he starts to go live.
And you'll see Mr. Jones will start live streaming.
There you go.
With his phone.
Yep. Look. Showing him, all his friends behind him. We pulling in, we pulling up. I mean, it didn't matter, but wow.
Again, advertising his location.
I missed the video that we seen. Yep. Wow. Bold young man. Bold as shit. You know the thing too, if you're probably in the situation that Foolio was in, meaning that in the midst of like this war and this back and forth, if you do that a couple times, you do a couple shows, you go to a couple clubs and nothing happens to you, you probably start to feel like you're good, right? He could have did this same shit right here that he did on this night, moving around, advertising, pull up, it's my birthday, DM me if you want the Addy, I'm gonna go live over here, I'm pulling up to this show, grabbing a bag. He could have did this 5-10 times before and nothing happened. And then you start to put your guard down probably, right? Damn. Just being out like this is just so crazy if you're Julio Foolio to me. We're going to show these niggas pull in now.
This is from another location. And you can see the Chevy Cruze up in the top part.
Yeah, they're in the screen. Cruze. Camera angles from everywhere.
And now, in the top of the screen, the hooded individual, the defendant, and Mr. Chance conducting more surveillance. Walking as a couple, so they're not threatening. They don't stand out.
You're done, shorty. Twice. You and your COVID mask in the parking lot.
And now they walk back again past the club.
You're done, shorty.
Mr. Jones and his friends leaving.
She's catching life.
The Impala on the top of the screen. That's across the street. You'll find in the evidence that the victim and his entourage go down the parking lot, they do a U-turn, they come back out, they end up heading east and then doing a U-turn and going back west.
You got all this footage, man, to just sit for months and just put this whole puzzle together. Jeez.
The Impala just crossed the street. Now to back up at that stop sign in the upper right-hand corner.
Yeah, once again, take me for a fool. You just happen to go to the same place, get in the parking lot, walk around, and do nothing and get back in your car. Then you just happen to end up at the second place with me, walk around, look around with your COVID mask, and get back in the car. Then when Foolio leaves, you just happen to pull off with him again. Like, you take me for a fool. Like, how many coincidences do you want me to add up for your fucking plea of innocent? Yo, yeah, she's cooked. She's cooked. She's done. She's cooked.
Visible, except
let's be honest, she deserves to be cooked. Like, I try to avoid saying shit like that on these streams, y'all, but let's keep it real. She fucking deserves to be cooked, y'all.
For those oncoming lights now coming up the northbound side. Around and does the 3-point turn. You're going to see in the video evidence right here. They pass within feet of each other at the same time. And of course, the Impala never goes around or reveals itself past that point, keeping out of sight of Mr. Jones and his entourage. This is a camera mounted on the east side of the home to suites, pointing to the southeast, and it is picking up the Impala now, pulling into the complex and going northbound on the east side of the hotel.
Location 3.
This is going to go to a camera facing north-northeast, showing it passing, still going northbound. And then it turns back to the west. This is a camera that's mounted on the north side of the home to suites that picks up the Impala as it passes and turns towards the west.
Damn.
And now the Impala is on the west side of the hotel. There's this pool and this patio area here that's on the west side of the hotel. Going around this way would be the portico. This is the west side of the hotel. The charging stations are right here. And you can see the Impala comes and stops. It does not go around that southern end of the home to suites. It's avoiding the southern end at this point. And here comes the Chevy Cruze passing directly past in the car that's not known by anyone, the victim.
And we showed yesterday, those charging stations have cameras on them themselves. Wow.
Goes to the north where the Impala is, goes right past the Impala, does a 3-point U-turn and comes back. This is another camera picking up the Impala and the Cruze. That's on the Tesla, part of its security system. You'll see the Cruze kind of do a little turn there, back up, and come back to the south.
Oh, this movement right here. I mean, what else do you need? This is crazy. This whole, they got everything. And there goes parked right there at the top. Oh no, backing up now.
I don't know if you saw that or not. The Cruze is turning.
Yeah, I saw it.
I
saw it.
Pulling into a spot over here at the same time as it passes back by.
Objection, Your Honor. This is cumulative.
Overruled. This is opening statement.
Yo, defense. You're already sitting here like an hour in getting your ass whooped. And then defense, objection. This is cumulative. Judge already got their popcorn out at this point. Judge is like, overruled. Shut up. Let's sit your ass there. It's 90 minutes in. Oh my God. And then we went through a lot of this yesterday as far as the actual shooting footage. That's what's after this. Wow. to think, people. This is that's the prosecution's opening. And I feel like we only watched like maybe 20 plus minutes of 90 minutes sped up. It is over for her, and she deserves it. They all do. Even tactically, I think now, even seeing her come up first and this amount of evidence thrown out, let's look that up real quick. If multiple suspects for the same crime have separate charges, separate charges, can they still have the same judge? That's huge. I wonder. Let's learn something. It says yes. Yes, multiple suspects charged in connection with the same crime can still have the same judge, but it depends on how the cases are filed and handled by the court. Yes, it's possible. So, and the reason why I want to look at that real quick is think about it. Even the order of trying these suspects matters. Here goes the girlfriend, and if she's charged, if she's convicted, the boyfriend automatically, like, you're moved up to like a 98%, right? Like, what is your defense? The girlfriend is already convicted, and she's not even the alleged shooter. And then all this evidence that obviously is going to be damning the shooters is going to come right into their trials as well. Now, I wouldn't assume that it's the same jury. Let these motherfuckers go home, bring in another jury pool for the separate trials, but you can have the same judge. So if you're the judge and you're sitting there and you watch the conviction come out for her, and then you sentence her, when suspect 2, 3, 4, and 5 come, you're gonna beat it. Like, the only way, your defense attorney better be coming with a whole angle and a whole evidence that mistaken identity. Like, I'm just not the person that has been laid out in all these prior trials so far. That's the only way. That's the only fucking way.